After each agenda item, the chair will announce public comment. If you're using the Zoom web application, you may click on the raise hand button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. That will signal to the host that you would like to make public comment, and then you will be placed in the queue. For those who are calling on your phone, you may press *9, and that will indicate again that you would like to make comment, and your name will be called in the order that you press *9. You will be then unmuted automatically as we take your comment. Please note that you may leave the Zoom meeting at any time. We are asking that you do follow the normal decorum for public comment, so please adhere to the common codes of courtesy, civility, and respect. If you cannot adhere to these practices, you may be removed from the meeting. So with that, I will turn it over to our chair, Mayor Mitchell, who will be chairing this in the absence of Councilman Buscaino.
Yes, good morning, everybody, and welcome back, Mayor McAllen, to this committee. We're glad to see your face among our committee members. I will first ask for the roll to be called.
Supervisor Bartlett? Board Member Kraka?
Present. Good to see you, Mayor McAllen. I thought you had enough going on already.
Well, I still have some time in Friday afternoon.
Mayor McAllen?
Here.
Councilmember Mitchell?
Here.
Councilmember Rodriguez?
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Good afternoon. And Councilmember Buscaino and Supervisor Bartlett are absent.
No, I'm here.
She just got over.
Oh, she's here. Okay.
I had trouble on my internet logging in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. We'll move to our first item, which is execute contract to develop a model for a connected network of microgrids. We have a presentation from Sung Bum Ha. Did I say that right? Go ahead.
We just call him Dr. Ha for short.
Dr. Ha, okay.
Dr. Ha, you need to unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. This item is to develop a model for connected network of microgrid systems. Next slide, please. Development of microgrid is gaining attention due to a concern of increasing the resiliency and reliability of the electricity system, especially to support zero-emission vehicles, including fuel cell and battery electric vehicles. To date, majority of research into microgrid has been focused on islanding transition and reliability impact of a single microgrid, but mass deployment of microgrid in South Coast Air Basin and integration of alternative transportation in microgrid system has not been fully studied. Port are looking at installation of microgrid on their site since the port wide electrical load is expected to exponentially increase due to their aggressive plan toward to zero-emission vehicles. The Port of Long Beach is planning a zero-emission future with the key features of microgrid systems such as solar panels, not only stationary, but also mobile battery storage there on site. So now, UCI is conducting a CEC-funded study to demonstrate a microgrid at Port of Long Beach and enhance resiliency for a critical facility at the port. Microgrid system will add resiliency to port operation and reduce pollution from their diesel generators. Next slide, please. To expand on application of this technology on the Port of Long Beach project, UCI proposed new project to accomplish followings. This project will develop a model to assess air quality impacts of connected microgrid, serving the South Coast Air Basin by evaluating emission reduction factors of microgrid, including utilization of energy storage, electricity delivery losses, and efficiency improvement by combined heat and power systems. previous simulation study conducted by UCI shows that their microgrid system on their campus would be able to reduce annual emission up to 30%. The model will include use of various power generation technology and interaction with alternative transportation, including battery electric and fuel cell vehicles operating under microgrid system. And this project will calculate NOx reduction during both grid connected and island mode, including PSPS events by connected microgrid at various facilities. Next slide, please. In this project, various power generation technology will be modeled to address 4 different types of microgrid systems, including university campuses, a port, shopping center, and critical facilities. The previous study, including UCI's assessment conducted under and awarded by US DOE, suggests that a microgrid system provides a significant emission reductions by, as I mentioned earlier, increasing the efficiency, shifting the load through the energy storage, and minimizing electricity delivery losses during both grid connected and island mode. Initial estimates for NOx reduction through the use of connected microgrids suggest that the order of 2,000 pounds per day with a grid connected mode and 10,000 pounds a day for the island operation mode. In the long term, with the full deployment of microgrid, it is estimated that the NOx benefit from operating during PSPS event will be at least 10,000 pounds, which is comparable to reduction anticipated for CARB omnibus regulation, which is established very recently. Next slide, please. So in this project, the requested funding from AQMD is $290,000 and match funding from UCI is $80,000. So total project cost is $370K. Next slide, please. The recommended action is to execute an agreement with University of California, Irvine in amount of not to exceed $290,000 from Clean Fuel Fund. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ha. Are there any questions about the presentation?
Yes, Madam Chair, if I might.
Mayor McKellen, go ahead.
Not really a question, but a comment. You know, one of the, going to be one of the critical areas where we'll need microgrids is at our transportation facilities, such as Omnitrans, MTA, since we're requiring zero emission vehicles, being able to isolate them from the grid when they go down, when the grid goes down, will ensure that transportation buses and so on will still be able to operate. So that's, I believe, one of the critical areas where we need microgrid setups.
Great. Thank you for that information. I think you're so right. You know, we're electrifying transportation. We're going to need to have a way to charge them up. Any other comments or questions? All right, I will ask if there are any public comments. Any comments from the public on this?
No comments from the public.
Okay, then I will ask for a motion on the item.
Bartlett, move to approve.
Thank you.
Callan, second.
And McAllen, was that you, Mayor McAllen, seconded? Yes, okay, just for our record. And may we have a roll call vote, please?
Supervisor Bartlett,
Yes.
Board Member Krakow,
Yes.
Mayor McKellen,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Yes,
Motion passes 5 ayes.
thank you. We'll move on to agenda item 2, which is issue a program announcement for lower emission school bus program. And I will announce that I don't have a conflict of interest or any financial interest in this issue, but I am a member of the California Air Resources Board, which is involved in this agenda item. We will have a report from, may I say, Dr. Tan?
That's Eugen Tan. Thank you.
Tan. We'll have a report. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Eugen Tan, and today I will be talking about agenda item 2 to bring forth the program announcement for the Lower Mission School Bus Program. Next slide, please. Since 2001, the Lower Emission School Bus Program has replaced older diesel high-emitting school buses with new alternative fuel and zero-emission buses. Since then, the district has provided $325 million in state, local, and federal funds to replace over 1,800 highly polluting diesel school buses, as well as retrofitted nearly 3,400 diesel buses with diesel particulate filters. Next slide, please. We're proposing to issue a new program announcement to solicit for applications to replace model year 2000 or older diesel school buses with new alternative fuel or zero emission buses certified at or below the optional low NOx standard of 0.02 grams per brake horsepower hour. We will have the potential of reducing over 55,000 pounds of NOx emissions per year. We're looking to release the program announcement upon board approval on October 2nd, 2020. The application period will last for about 3 months, with it closing on January 26, 2021. Next slide, please. We'll be taking applications from public school districts and JPAs to replace pre-2001 model year school buses with a GVWR greater than 14,000 pounds. The existing school bus will need to have continuous CHP certification for the past 3 years, as well as be currently registered with the DMV. Please do remember that this is a replacement program, and the existing school bus will need to be crushed or dismantled as required by the Lower Emission School Bus Program guidelines. Next slide, please. During this funding cycle, type A, C, and D replacement school buses with the fuel type of propane, compressed natural gas, and zero emission technologies are eligible for funding. The table here provides a summary of the maximum funding amounts for each type of school bus and the corresponding fueling or charging infrastructure option. To help offset the cost of zero emission school buses, we are allowing schools to apply for additional funding through the state's HVIP program. The combined award from South Coast AQMD and HVIP, however, cannot exceed $400,000. After evaluating the applications, we will return to the board to seek approval for the proposed awards on April 2nd, 2021. Next slide, please. As a recommended action, we are recommending to issue the new program announcement for school bus replacements under the Lower Mission School Bus Program. We will also be returning to the Tech Committee and Board for review once we have a list of recommended awardees. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tan. And do we have any questions or comments on the agenda item? Yes, go ahead, Carlos Rodriguez.
Thank you. Just regarding the schools that would qualify, is there a list of those that would qualify potentially that we are aware of as far as our outreach to promote the program? Is it just across the service area and the South Coast AQMD area, or do we have a more narrowed dissemination to those who would qualify?
So we have a list of all the schools within the 4-county region that we distribute the information to. So every 2 years or so, when we do the solicitation for the Lower Mission School Bus Program, it's significantly oversubscribed because there are many schools within the region that still have these older diesel buses that we're trying to replace. So the solicitation is really meant to identify the inventory, how many are remaining to be replaced. And so once we receive all of the applications, we will then, staff will make a recommendation based on the age of the buses. We try to look at equity amongst the 4-county region, and then we bring it back to this committee and then the board for approval.
Great, sounds like a very thorough process. Just for my edification, if you wouldn't mind making that distribution list available, I'd be interested in knowing what specific schools in our area are on that list.
Yeah, we will provide that. It's a pretty extensive list, but happy to provide it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Mayor McKellen, do you have a comment also, a question?
Yes, thank you very much. Matt, if I understood you right, we don't know how many pre 2001 school buses are out there.
I just asked staff of that question. I think not at this time. We recently expanded the program to older buses, and so it will be somewhat of a inventory that we're getting once we receive the applications.
Will any of this money be able to be used for infrastructure?
Yes. So when they apply, there is a formula by which they can apply for infrastructure, both electric and natural gas.
This is another example of where microgrids will eventually be needed because if they all go to electric, to have the bus be able to operate in an environment when the power is down on the grid, they need to have some power. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, are there any public comments?
We do have one call-in public comment.
All right, go ahead.
Hello, this is Ranji George. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, board member. Thank you, chairperson. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Ranji George, and I was the program supervisor for the school bus program since 2001. And what we had a very successful program. It started off with a lot of people bitter about alternate fuels, but thanks for I've helped in making all of them come aboard, and I had the honor of doing that. And in the process, I negotiated the price with the vendors. These at that time it was CNG buses. They were asking close to 300,000, and I brought it down to 150,000 or so. And I also showed them how they can make profit. I appealed to the entrepreneurial and capitalist spirit to bring these costs down. This is now looking at the zero emission bus numbers. We had a Type D at 325,000 in year 2016, and suddenly it has become 400,000. I plead with the board members to ask staff to negotiate well with these vendors. They can do it. They are entrepreneurial. They are very good at bringing costs down and still make a profit. So I urge you to appeal to that thing. We saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we were able to add a lot more buses to a lot more school districts, and that became one of the most successful school bus program in California and perhaps in the country. So I urge you to do that, to go back and look at your zero emission prices and bring it down by 75,000 or so. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George, for your comments and your experience with the district. Are there any other public comments?
No further comments.
All right, I will ask for a motion to approve the issuance of the program announcement.
Krakoff will move.
A motion from Mr. Krakoff. May I have a second, please?
Bartlett, second.
Thank you, and a roll call.
Supervisor Bartlett,
Yes.
Board Member Krakow,
Yes.
Mayor McKellen,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Yes,
Motion passes 5 ayes.
thank you. We'll move to item 3, execute a contract to develop and demonstrate natural gas and propane conversion systems for medium-duty vehicles. And we have a report from Sam Chow.
That is Dr. Sam Chow. Just
Is
to-
it Dr. Sam Chow? Okay, I've got to learn how to pronounce these.
just to, yeah, complete the record. Thank
Whole
you.
lesson on this, you know. Dr. Chow, go ahead.
Thank you, Councilmember Mitchell. How's my audio? It's coming through?
Very good.
Right on. Good afternoon, members of the board. I'll be talking about the next agenda item, which is executing a contract to develop no-NOx engine options for natural gas and propane conversion systems for on-road medium-duty vehicles. Next slide, please. Last year, the board approved 3 projects to develop near-zero emission options for the new Ford 7.3-liter engine. This included a award in amount almost $608,000 to Agility Fuel Solutions to develop a natural gas and propane conversion system to the 0.02 gram NOx level. The project was not executed due to 4 QVM program approvals. The 4 QVM program stands for Qualified Vehicle Modifier. That's a Ford specialty program that ensures the converter vehicles are fitted to the Ford quality standard, and the converter who done the conversion can carry the hardware warranty as well as the CARB emissions warranty. To give you more background, Agility is one of the largest suppliers in the alternative fuel market. Currently sports and warranties over 40,000 medium and heavy duty alternative fuel trucks through its more than 100 dealer and authorized service network, which includes about 1,300 Ford 6.8 liter trucks, which is converted when Agility was under the QVM program last year. So fast forward to 2020, in the most recent August CARB board meeting, CARB adopted the omnibus no NOx regulation where a 0.01 gram NOx will be phased in as soon as 2022, thanks to the comments of South Coast AQMD and others. Meanwhile, according to the 2016 AQMD, was it a question?
I don't believe so.
Okay, according to the 2016 AQMD, medium duty trucks can account for about 38 tons per day, or about 40% of the total NOx in our basin in year 2023. Ford trucks currently hold key market share in multiple medium duty truck segments, so there's a need to reduce emissions from medium duty trucks. Therefore, Agility has subsequently submit staff a revised proposal to achieve the 0.01 gram NOx level for the same project cost as last year. Next slide, please. Here's the project proposal. The proposal is largely the same as last year. SoCal Gas is still supporting the CNG conversion of the study. We'll be achieving a lower level of 0.01 gram NOx, which is 95% lower than today's standard. Agility will continue to seek 4 QVM program approval while support the new trucks through its existing service and warranty program. Next slide, please. Here's the proposed cost share. The SoCal Gas funding of $155,000 is already executed under MOU executed last year. The requested amount from South Coast is about $450,000 for a total project cost of $1.8 million. Next slide, please. Here's the recommended action where the staff recommend to execute a contract with Agility Fuel System for developing the natural gas and propane conversion system. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chow. Are there any questions on the report from Dr. Chow? I don't see any hands raised, so I will have a question. So this is for medium duty trucks, and just describe what those are. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, right?
You can go ahead, Sam.
Okay, so a medium duty truck, anything from class 3 through class 7. So for Ford, in the case, you have those Ford utility service trucks. So the F350, F450, also the vans, the step vans they have in the airport shuttle. You see those vans in the airport that takes, well, it's more like a shuttle, airport shuttle. Then you also have the class 7 lighter duty tractor trailers. So they can haul a tractor trailer. And one of the biggest ones is actually those parcel delivery, those UPS trucks that doesn't really have a Ford badge. It's sold under the Freightliner, also has this type of engine in there. So pretty much the whole shebang except tractor trailer class 8.
So this is a great opportunity to get some NOx reductions from the truck fleets out there. So I will ask for a motion on this item.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. And a second, please.
Second.
Second, Supervisor Bartlett. And a roll call, please.
Supervisor Bartlett,
Yes.
Board Member Kracko,
Yes.
Mayor McCallum,
Yes.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Yes. I forgot to ask for public comment. Was there any public comment on this?
There was not any public comment.
Okay. Are there any other business to come before the committee today? Seeing none, is there any public comment from the public, just in general?
There is no public comment.
No public comment. All right, thank you. We will adjourn the meeting and wish you all a happy weekend. Stay safe. And we will see you at the next meeting. We're adjourned.
Everyone,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
stay safe.
Have a good
Bye,
weekend.
everyone.
Everyone.